Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pocket Edition, the first episode of 2019, episode number 55. Today I'm joined by Count Fracula and Mark.
Hi.
How are we today, gang? We ready to talk about Activision, Bungie, and probably a bit of Destiny.
And the fact that you missed my joke entirely and I hate you.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Did you get the joke
I
in the end?
thought that was a really good joke as well.
It was too. Did you get it, Sally? Boing.
Boing. It was great. Good job, Count.
Exactly. Yeah, I came up with that in like 2 seconds. I was really happy.
It flew over my head, Count. Flew
really
directly
did.
over. Yeah, it was too early.
Really did.
Too
The cord
early for
snapped,
your
was
shenanigans.
it?
Yeah. Mark, anyway, before we push on, are you good, dude? Just aside from your broken nose
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
and your
Aside from your
impending brain surgery.
Aside from my missing arm.
Yeah, if you want to know what we're talking about regarding his brain surgery, missing arm, and landslid nose, go watch pre-show. Without further ado, though, because it's getting late for Count, let's talk about the split between Bungie and Activision. Pretty much because that was the biggest piece of news that happened while we were away over the last couple of weeks. I want to say surprising. It felt surprising at the time, but I think we've heard rumours maybe early last year that they were thinking about splitting away. And I think this is actually before their 10-year contractual deal is up. I think it's only been about, 7 since they joined up with Activision to make Destiny?
Like it was around
Something
that.
like that.
So they've broken away a little bit early. Interesting thing, though, is that they've retained the IP in Destiny. So I'm guessing that was an original clause in the contract that they would retain their IP, but Activision would reap all the money and loot boxes from the games. So that's interesting. But what do you guys make of this? I'll let you go first, Count. What kind of what do you think the prospects are for Destiny and Bungie as a studio now?
So you'd like to know what I think about this
Not
situation?
not necessarily. I mean, okay, just go nuts. You know what? Just go nuts, Count. Think about whatever you want. Say whatever you want.
Fuck you, Activision, and your share price, you money-scrubbing cunts.
Very good. I think you've summed it up. Shall we call it an episode?
That was a lot
I
of
think you gave me a
clipping.
migraine.
Your brain surgery will solve it. It's
I watched
fine.
the drunk, abusive rants from Mel Gibson to his ex-wife that was secretly recorded the other day, and I think you just eclipsed Mel Gibson's clipping. Slightly less swearing, though. Provocative language. So yeah, okay.
But yeah. I think overall, Bungie have done. Well, they've made the correct decision because, Destiny 2 launched. Was it last year?
No, because we're in 2019 now. It's 2017.
End of 2017, yeah.
You got to remember, 2018 was about 5 years long, so I really don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it launched in 2017, right in the middle of the loot box
Scandals.
thing.
We'll call them
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
It's the correct term.
Did it have loot boxes in? I don't know.
No, it had...
They were
Well, I mean,
like
technically,
loot boxes.
yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of lying, there was a lot of deception, there was a lot of annoyance about the microtransactions and the changes compared to Destiny 1 because of the things that they added into as microtransactions that were originally not that. And then there was just a lot of bad will towards the game in general for what it had done.
So, pretty much, can I just quickly interject with a comparison between number 1 and number 2? I think it sums it up for me, at least. Game 1 release, Destiny 1, lots of potential, lots of promise, a little bit lackluster regarding the story, felt a little bit rushed out. The game mechanics and the game itself, content aside, was pretty on point, I think, in terms of its systems and mechanics. It was doing a lot right. Game 2 ships. Story is infinitely better. Game mechanics and systems went backwards.
Great.
How?
And in a video game, that's not ideal.
No, so you can imagine I picked up number 2 thinking, okay, we're going to get an improvement on number 1. Came in the form of a story, but yeah, man, it very disappointing. I put that game down after a couple of weeks and just outright refused to never buy a Bungie, Activision, Destiny game again.
No, I mean, I am infinitely the fan of a good story in a game. I do feel that a good story can make a bad game better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do also think that when you've had your first game, to make the mechanics worse in the second game isn't really that excusable, surely.
It wasn't even necessarily...
Because you had it right in the first
Yeah,
place.
See, that's the thing. Unless they drastically changed gameplay, like say Destiny 1 was a first-person shooter, Destiny 2 was like a third-person action game, and the gameplay wasn't good in that, you'd be like, well, you changed it up completely. But it was a first-person shooter again. You could have, it could have only gone up, but you went down.
It was simple things as well, like scaling of weapons and enemies. Like they almost devalued variety of weapons because every weapon, I believe, at launch was like outputting similar damage to other weapons, and the scaling was really weird between characters and enemies. It's just they just fucked it in the ass. Like it's just like I don't know, man. Anyway, though, like, what do you think? In my opinion, Bungie was teetering on the edge of damaging their studio. With Destiny. And you can argue whether that was mostly Activision or Bungie.
Sorry, you went away and came back again.
Ooh.
Was that just me?
It was. For the first time. I'm not having issues.
5 seconds. There was about 5 seconds of just silence. I was like,
Well, to recap before you count, I was just, in my opinion, I was just putting out there that I think Bungie was on the edge of damaging their studio's image in terms of how they were handling Destiny. Whether that was Activision's doing or Bungie's doing probably a little bit of both going on there. So I think this splits.
I think I'm going to always lay on the side that it's the publisher. When it comes to things like awful business practices, it's generally the publisher.
I think so.
Because it's the same as when Square Enix forced Eidos to put... what was it? The weird mode in Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Yep.
I can't remember what it was called. But they put the microtransaction shop in there as well. And like these were things that they were forced to do last minute because reasons. Like just because they wanted to put that in. And like you can tell that it was done that way because the game is balanced perfectly to not have to bother with that.
Yeah. When Destiny 1 shipped, people found other planets and information from on the disc. There was information there that was still locked away. Now, arguably, yes, the content was probably not finished, but that's probably a result of Activision wanting to push it out the door and going and hearing, oh, wait, Bungie saying, we haven't finished yet. Activision's probably like, okay, if that's fine, we'll release it via 4 DLC packs, So it's just shit like that, which the publisher just gets greedy and they absolutely chopped Destiny 1 up. Whether it was finished or not, I would have much rather have seen the game development have an extra 1.5 years, 2 years, and actually release all that DLC as one standalone game. Because if they had, the story would have been astronomically more present and better. But yeah, I think Bungie. I think this is good for Bungie.
Oh. Ouch. Well, it's probably a good thing. Just anyway, Deus Ex Mankind Divided is currently on sale on Steam for £2.99.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It was all right.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think,
Deus
Bungie?
Ex or...
Mankind Divided. It was all right. Human Revolution was much better. But...
Yeah, I like that one. That was good.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think Bungie's going to do next? Do you think we're going to get a Destiny 3? Or do you think they're just going to do something else for a while?
Bought by EA and then shut down.
Oh my god! Did you guys hear about Visceral Games, Star Wars? Not Visceral. The people that carried on after Visceral.
Yep, it's
shut down.
Yeah.
In favor of something that has is a smaller project, Star Wars project that has a sooner release date. EA,
Great.
you are not going to retain the rights to Star Wars. You will not.
I'm honestly surprised they still own it after Battlefront 2.
Oh.
I'm surprised they were allowed to keep it.
It must be a case
I'm
of Disney just needs something.
That not everything has been destroyed by them yet.
Yeah.
I did not have high hopes for Anthem.
I will still never forgive them for Bullfrog. I'm sorry. It's really old. Bullfrog died ages ago, but I will still never forgive them for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's probably not going to happen anyway. What's probably going to happen is they're going to go the way of IO Interactive, and they're going to go, in a phrase that I hate, double A.
You think Bungie?
I hate that phrase. Yeah.
You reckon? You don't think they have the pedigree there
so.
to do more? And to self-publish?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm on about.
Double A? Well, so what makes it triple A? Is it just development financing?
Calling it double A is just jargon. Like, awful jargon by idiots.
Okay, because I thought you were meaning in terms of like maybe a quality that is lesser of AAA.
No, they're all just going to shove batteries up their ass.
Very nice.
Anyway, no, it's the same. Yeah, they're going to do the same as IO Interactive. They're probably going to self-publish something. Yeah. Whether it's Destiny 3, probably not Destiny 3, or it'll probably just be something that's maybe a bit more low key in terms of budget and scope.
I almost feel so.
They'll probably do that just to test the waters and then maybe go from there.
See, I feel like the easy win is for them to just knuckle down and actually develop the Destiny that we've always wanted, right, without interference. That seems like the bankable idea. But I almost feel like, I think you're right, Cal. I think the kind of view of Destiny in the mindshare at the moment is a little bit sour, and I feel like at the same time, as much as it's probably the most bankable idea, it almost might be beneficial for Bungie and the IP to let it rest for a little bit and just do something else. Come back late next gen with swinging with Destiny 3, in 5 or so, or even longer, somewhere between 5 and 10 years later. But I don't know, what could you guys see them developing? Like, they've had a pretty long running history of shooters, Bungie.
Yeah. I say I'd like some more original IPs from them.
What about
try something?
I'd like them to do something different. Like something that
not
isn't a shooter.
Right. Well, they almost did an RTS once. They won't do an RTS because that genre is pretty much, where the dodo at the moment.
No,
it will return. The RTS. Real-time strategy.
RTS has come out this year.
I don't think so, man.
Vermintide 2's come out this year.
That's not an RTS, is it?
Well, we're getting Warcraft 3 Reforged this year.
What was the last great real-time strategy game?
Dawn of War 2.
Dawn of War 2? Okay.
That was my favourite one. That was my favourite one previously. Dawn of War 1 before that, and Warcraft 3 before that.
I've always preferred turn-based strategy. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I can do it at my own pace.
So I was talking specifically real-time strategy games, so games like StarCraft and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bungie...
I don't say it's dead. It's not dead, but there's not been as many.
No, it's just fallen out of favour at the moment, I think. Count, did you know the original Halo was basically an RTS before Microsoft bought them?
Oh, I did not.
And then
that does explain Halo Wars.
Yeah, exactly. I think when they were originally developing for Mac, it was an RTS. Then in the transition period, it was becoming a third-person shooter. And then Microsoft acquired them, and they're like, we need a first-person shooter. And then commenced the first-person shooter box. So I'm just looking at
the first game that they officially got published was a top-down tank shooter called Operation Desert Storm for the Mac.
Interesting. Do you know?
Minotaur, the Labyrinths of Crete.
You know what I'd love to see come back, and I think you could differentiate this series from Halo and Destiny, in terms of kind of maybe theme of the game. Marathon.
That's the game that sort of like put them on the map, wasn't it?
Or made them Marathon. Absolutely. I mean, have you heard of Marathon, Count?
I'm looking it up. It looks like Doom.
It's like a Doom, Perfect Dark-esque kind of shooter, but it's like this heavily wrapped in mystery game. Really, really cool, like hard sci-fi for the time. I'd love to see them go down that route. I'd just do a really hard, like dark, desolate sci-fi game.
There's a game on the games developed list on Wikipedia called Matter.
On Bungie Wiki?
That was being made by Bungie. I've heard of it as well, I think it was announced at E3.
Are you looking at games developed? So, oh yeah, Matter to be. Oh,
It was announced at E3, but we didn't hear much about it.
so in development before the split. So perhaps this is the next thing. Windows platform,
Or
Windows.
those assets might.
Because it's a new IP, but then it depends whether or not they were able to get that IP.
Alternatively,
Whether or not that was separate from Activision or
Yeah.
not.
Alternatively,
Yeah,
they could use the assets for something else.
Absolutely.
Similar.
True.
Do you think the platform being Windows is just a placeholder thing on this wiki?
Probably.
Yeah, surely coming to
I
consoles.
don't remember hearing anything about it being PC exclusive. I don't remember hearing much about it at all. I think it's literally, we know the name, and that's about it.
Matter.
It would be interesting if Microsoft bought Bungie, because they've been buying up all those other companies.
Nah, there's no way, dude. No way Bungie's going to go back to
I said it'd
Microsoft.
be interesting.
It'd be interesting. They'd fucking like self-harming themselves if they did that. They left because of the influence Microsoft was having over their studio, like the interjection and constant control. And I mean, obviously the same reason they fucking left Activision, right? Like, I don't think they're going to trade one devil for another, even though they did originally. I don't know. I mean, originally we know they wanted to stop making Halo, right? And that's all Microsoft wanted. So
Yeah, and then they handed it over to people making Halo 4 and Halo 5. Yeah.
you shut your mouth, count. No. Seriously though, Infinity, whatever, Infinite.
Yes.
Halo 6.
That.
Yes, I want to see.
Yeah, just call it Halo 6.
Yeah, it's easy. I don't know. I mean, every fangasm for every fan alive being Halo fanboys, they want Bungie to go back to Halo. It's never going to happen. Never. Bungie doesn't want to do that.
But it might.
I just thought of something stupid for a way that they should rename the Halo series, and I'm going to type it into the chat.
Oh. You know,
Put O's for the extra sequels.
Hello.
You know, the only way...
Halo or Halo?
That should be the sixth one. Hello.
Halo 6. You know, the only way Bungie will go back making Halo, like, let's just say Microsoft want to make this really weird, nostalgic play to bring Halo back and into relevance, is like, hey, and use Bungie as, like, kind of that centerpiece. They'd have to have so much money to go, like, Bungie, just take all our money, just fucking make a Halo. Take it. Like, it just had to be so much money. Because Bungie do not want to make Halo again. No way.
No.
So anyway, last thoughts, guys, on this one before we wrap her up. Mate.
What the fuck? What? What the fuck was that?
I'm being original for Adam, alright? So shut up.
You're being original.
You're being original by being a stereotype.
Yeah. Why don't you throw another shrimp on the barbie, mate?
Mate.
My. Sort of like a goat at the end.
Let us know what you think down below of Bungie and Activision. What would you like to see Bungie make next? Come say hello in our Discord server. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the newscast, which will hopefully be coming up shortly after this episode in the coming days, and plenty of other content in the form of news and reviews. Until episode next time, have a good one.